Well, it is one big debate breaking out right now in Washington after one school district down in Texas decided to take a new look at the old tradition of paddling. Right now, corporal punishment is allowed in 20 states. Supporters argue that just the threat of paddling significantly helps with discipline, but Congress is now talking about a national ban on all kinds of punitive practices. So is that a good idea? Joining me now, Alice Farmer. She's with the ACLU's Human Rights Program, which wrote 2 reports on the negative effects of corporal punishment, and Susan Avery, editor-in-chief of Parent Dish. Okay, Alice, let me start with you. So I take it the ACLU against corporal punishment and against what's being done down in Texas.
Absolutely. We believe that corporal punishment is ineffective and abusive, and that there are just much better ways of disciplining children in schools and making sure that there are safe environments for kids to learn in.
Why not just let the schools decide on a case-by-case business, though? Why does there need to be a national ban deciding for everybody?
Because it's important to give all of America's children the same level of protection. It just doesn't seem right that in some places kids can sustain serious injuries while they're in school, and in other places they have safe environments to learn.
Susan, is that what's happening? Kids are being seriously injured thanks to the corporal punishment we see in these 20 states?
Absolutely not. That is a complete exaggeration of the reality. This is the way they're administering corporal punishment, which they've only done once and since this has been in effect last year, is it's by major offense, and then it's through a discussion with the parent. The parent has to agree that this is an okay way to discipline their child. They don't just do this off the top of their head in the middle of a heated moment.
Well, what about that, Alice? I mean, if the parents say it's okay, and there's no allegation in this Texas district, at least, that the child was hurt in any way, or that it was anything more than essentially a spanking, which a lot of parents favor, why should the state, or for that matter, the U.S. Congress, be sticking its nose into it?
Well, I'm glad right now that in Texas nothing serious has happened in this particular district. But the fact of the matter is that a corporal punishment can cause routine bruising, hematomas, whiplash damage, broken bones. The Society for Adolescent Medicine has a strong position against this practice.
Alice,
and
are you against
it?
Are you against corporal punishment in schools only, or would you like to see a ban on, spanking across the board, even in a private home?
Oh, no. Right now, we're very much talking about corporal punishment in schools. We want to make sure kids are safe in schools and they have a place where they can learn.
So is it okay for a parent to spank or paddle his child in the privacy of his own home?
That's not something I've done research or work on, and I'm really just focused on trying to make a safe place for kids to learn.
I mean, because the argument, Susan, is that if it's safe in the home, why is it not safe when it's done by an administrator in a school with the parent's permission?
Exactly. I mean, I don't know why this is such a big deal. You know, there are different parts of the United States. Here in New York, our liberal area, we would never ever do something like that. But in Texas, there's a different way of parenting, and we have to respect what the community wants.
Susan, but do we? Because, the argument that Alice seems to be making is that some children have gotten hurt, and some administrators cannot be trusted. And is school really the place to really, unleash on a child?
Well, I don't know of any child getting hurt from corporal punishment being paddled on their bottom. This is a very the most controlled way a corporal punishment could be administered. This is not in any way about abusing a child. We're not talking about a beating here.
Alice, do you have a specific case you can cite?
Oh, we have hundreds of cases. I've interviewed more than 100 parents and students and teachers and administrators for the work that I've done. And we've got documented cases of injuries happening. And that's not just from my work, but from work done by pediatricians and researchers across the country.
Yeah, I'll give you the last word on that, Susan.
I don't know what to say. I haven't seen her documentation, but I could tell you in this Texas school district, it is done in a most responsible way, and there haven't been any complaints, and the parents sign on to it before anything is done.
It's an interesting debate. I, for one, did not know that corporal punishment was still allowed in 20 states, and maybe perhaps for not much longer. But we appreciate the fair and balanced debate, ladies. Thanks to the both of you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Well, putting a stop